Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Kings. My name is Matt, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the ramifications that could happen for Robinhood if they do not list Shiba Inu. I'm going to be going over some information I think you guys haven't heard yet, and I feel like you guys are going to want to know. So if you're new, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and let's get right into it, folks. So if you guys haven't seen, Shiba Inu has been having a rather lackluster day here over at 66, and let's be honest, this was to be expected. It was to be expected we would have some level of kind of, a decrease from where we were, of course, a couple of days ago, all the way with a high of 88. So this is to be expected. Now, we all know there is one catalyst that could change everything, that could completely alter the way we see this currency forever, and that of course would be Robinhood. I know a lot of you guys have been talking about this in my live streams, and it is worth discussing because honestly, Robinhood is the biggest exchange out there right now for this kind of industry. AMC, GameStop, Dogecoin, they all had their rise because of Robinhood. Now, Robinhood itself has not been doing particularly hot, and you guys can see that actually this article from a few days ago just talks about how Robinhood stock is not doing that well because meme stocks and Dogecoin are fading. That is the sort of report here. Now, keep in mind, whoever wrote this article probably isn't particularly interested in SHIB per se, because yes, while Dogecoin may not be doing as great as it was, and AMC and GameStop, there's one crypto out there that's doing significantly better than all of them right now, and that is, of course, Shiba Inu. And guess what Robinhood doesn't have on its platform? Shiba Inu. So, like you guys can see here, the stock went down 11%. I mean, this is pretty bad. Again, I'm sure Robinhood will recover to a degree, but the idea is that the amount of funded accounts dropped to 22.4 million, down from 22.5 million at the end of the second quarter. So from the second quarter to now, they are actually at a net loss of the amount of funded accounts. The analysts had expected it to go above 24 million. So that's pretty difficult. That's pretty bad. Now, how could they fix this? Well, there are a few ways they can fix this. Before we get to that, guys, make sure to check out Webull, guys. Top of the link in the description if you guys want to get started trading stocks and crypto. And yes, Shiba Inu actually is over on Webull with the link at the top of the description, guys. Of course, if you get started over there, you guys get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. And of course, you can either choose to keep those or sell it and buy something like SHIB or Ethereum or whatever you guys like. Top of the link down below in the description. When it comes down to it, guys, there are a lot of ways in which Robinhood can save itself, notably, of course, by adding Shiba Inu. But there are a lot of other things they could add. I mean, when you look at CoinMarketCap, man, there are so many options here. You know, Mana Decentraland has been having an absolutely fantastic day. There are a lot of options out there that Robinhood could choose to add, and that's not necessarily every single, like, knockoff, Elon Musk coin like this. I don't know if Dogelon would be the best thing to add to Robinhood, but there are a lot of legitimately good options on these lists that, of course, are having great runs. I mean, even in the top 50, there are a ton of different tokens that they could add to Robinhood, which could be extremely profitable. So to me, this is really the final sort of like warning for Robinhood, like, hey, do something, because if you don't, your number of users is going to continue to decline. And again, this is particularly weird because they're not very vocal about this. The only sort of news people have ever gotten from Robinhood on this is that, it is not correct that we have listed SHIB, or, your inquiry was not correct, or, basically just clarifying, false statements about them online or whatnot. Robinhood has not come out and concretely made a statement about whether or not they're actually interested in doing this. And again, I would think this would be something that they would be, rushing towards, that they would be running to, because of where their base is rooted. I mean, Robinhood is so largely rooted in the meme stock frenzy, whatnot. They are so largely rooted in that I think anybody out there who is interested in checking charts daily and is, buying AMC and buying DWAC Digital World Acquisition Corp the other day that had another kind of GameStop AMC type run. Anybody interested in doing any of that, I think would be largely doing that through Robinhood. I mean, Robinhood has a demographic of extremely young people who are extremely risky with their investments, and this isn't a traditional, TD Bank or, something like that, or Fidelity, nothing against those platforms, but Robinhood has a very targeted and a very specific audience that is actually using their platform. So the idea that, SHIB would not be a good addition is just crazy, because it would absolutely benefit them and their platform. And I think a lot of people don't really care that Robinhood doesn't have, your own wallet, not your wallet, not your actual tokens. There's been a lot of controversy about whether or not, centralized exchanges should even exist in this space, but I'd say 90% of people don't even care. And they actually do trust, Coinbase and Robinhood and stuff, even if they do something sus. So I think most people definitely aren't worried about that. And I think there would be a ton of new signups if that happened. So that's definitely something, to keep in mind. Again, on the day, guys, we are not doing particularly great with a market cap right now of $36 billion, which is still absolutely incredible. But when compared to Dogecoin, you guys can see we are still above Doge, which is interesting. Obviously, Doge here at $34 billion. And, I'm rooting for both to succeed. I don't think anybody has to pick a side out there. I am still rooting for Dogecoin, of course, because I still believe in what that does as well. Volume here is down a lot over the past 24 hours with a volume of 8 billion, which is still just mind-boggling compared to where we were only a couple of months ago. I mean, really, when you look at the year, man, this is really peanuts compared to where we were. I mean, if you bought anywhere from here to here, I'd say you're pretty happy right now. Again, the difficulty arises with people trying to re-enter, like a lot of people were talking to me about in my stream yesterday, people trying to re-enter, and unfortunately, again, there's just not really enough data to determine where we'll be in a week from now. Is it possible we could be at 0.0001? Absolutely. Is it possible that we could be at 0.00003? It's possible. I hope not, but it definitely is worth it to be careful and to be safe. And that's why, again, when looking at something like this, you could say that, when it comes down to it, yes, this is still a, sort of symmetrical wedge, and you could kind of draw the lines in here, and you could still make that argument, but it's just not behaving quite as clean as we would like it to. And in a situation like this where you would want to have, really clean lines, a symmetrical wedge would really look more like this, where it is consistently touching the top and the bottom and the top and the bottom. That's not what SHIB is doing here. It's behaving a little bit more erratically, which makes it hard to kind of chart in this instance. I mean, I could draw a million different wedges over this because none of them really fit 100%. And that's what, obviously does make it difficult. When we check the relative strength index, you guys can see we are near the bottom right now. So again, if you were trying to make a quick profit, if you wanted to set a limit buy, for something like 65 or something like that, 64, and then set a limit sell, to like 72 or something, I suppose you could. It makes some good money if we saw something like this happening here in the near future. That option to make a quick buck is definitely there. It's just, is it worth taking that risk on the chance we do experience a bad crash? So the goal, again, is, of course, not to have a crash like this and to be as vigilant as possible in the future with, of course, how we are going to make our entry. And like I talk about in a lot of videos, the goal is to dollar cost average as best possible so that you are entering at as low of a price as possible, even if it raises, even if you bought a little bit of SHIB a month ago and you're like, oh my goodness, I wish I bought more. You could still buy more and still add to your collection without buying at the absolute top, at the absolute all high. So the goal is, again, to dollar cost average as best you can. And again, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, just my personal opinion. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Make sure to check out Webull. Top of the link down below in the description. My name is Matt. See you guys on the next one. Peace.